Hello my friends, welcome back to another video. My name is Jake and this is my channel Wishlist, and I want to talk about this aquarium that I have today and hopefully give you some ideas about maybe some stocking options or some plant options or maybe some things that you could do to set up a gorgeous aquarium like this. This tank has been up and running for a few months now. Most of my aquariums, I usually start them with some pretty strong plans where I know exactly what I'm going to put in them and what I want them to look like. This one I definitely had a good idea of what I wanted the aquascape to look like, but I wasn't really sure about the stocking. At the time when I set it up, I had some long fin Rosy Barbs that I thought were just gorgeous and I kind of wanted to build an aquarium around them, but I wasn't really sure what I was going to do long term. And so over the last few months, I've just been slowly adding fish to this aquarium, and I could not be more pleased with how it looks today. If you want to build an insanely colorful and beautiful aquarium, I would highly recommend this combination of fish. There is an endless amount of activity. They are constantly moving. These fish do well with plants for the most part. You can see there is one plant in the back there that has not done well and has kind of been chewed away, but for the most part everything else in here has gone well. Now most of these plants are plants that anybody could really grow. There's a lot of crypts, there are some Java ferns, and there is an Anubias, a large barteri, I don't know how to say that, the large version of the Anubias that is growing there. Now there's another thing about this tank that I think some people might hate, but I really love, and that is this green algae that kind of is growing on every surface. Yes, it's on the Anubias as well, and it's kind of all over the place, but I just think it's gorgeous. I don't know what you guys think, but these rocks have this little bit of spot green algae growing on it all over the place, and it just looks so cool. I mean, I love a good combination of natural as well as aquascaped, which means I want it to look purposeful, but I want it to look like it's something more natural. Now, the combination of fish in this aquarium, these are not found together in the wild, so this is not anywhere near a biotope aquarium, but I just love how the aquascape has set up and how that little bit of algae, not the wrong kind and not in the wrong places, has just made it look so natural. Absolutely love it. Now, originally this aquarium was just meant to be barbs, and it was just barbs for a while. But then I got some more fish that I really wanted, and I thought I was going to put them in a different place, but I decided to put them in here, and they have gone really well in here. Those fish are these rainbows. You see there's a Millennial Rainbow in here. There's also an Albino Millennial Rainbow. I don't know exactly where they all are right now. So there's a handful of rainbows in here. The other fish that I never expected to add in here that I think have done really well are the mollies, these Dalmatian mollies. I have been a bit of a cichlid snob for a while and have neglected the live bearers and have kind of not paid attention to the whole live bearer area of fish keeping. But I have, since the very beginning, since I started keeping fish, ever since the time I first saw these Dalmatian mollies, I've always thought they looked amazing, but I never really knew exactly where to put them. One day I was ordering fish online and I saw them for sale and they weren't very expensive, and I had no idea where I was going to put them, but I decided, you know what? I have stared at these fish for too long. I'm going to get them and I'm going to see if I can find a spot for them. Ever since I added them in here, I have had zero regrets. They are just absolutely stunning, so active, and they have gotten along with this combination of fish so well. There are also a handful of other barbs in here, aside from the longfin Rosy Barbs. There are golden barbs, there are Odessa Barbs, there are cherry barbs, just regular cherry barbs. Now, I originally had about 5 or 6 of them and kind of slowly lost them. I'm not really sure what happened, so I've actually recently added, you can see some smaller ones back there. So I got some more cherry barbs about a month and a half ago, and those just came out of quarantine and went into this tank. There are also, you're probably not going to be able to see it in this video unless I really dig around for it, but there are also some Khuli loaches that hang out in here. that I get to see every once in a while that seems to do just fine. And I'm looking for them right now, but there's a really decently medium-sized blue-eyed lemon bristlenose Pleco that is actually one that I bred and that I have put in here, and it is growing out quite nicely. Got some good whiskers on it. You'll have to pay attention. Maybe you'll see it during the video and I'll miss it, but it's a really beautiful looking Pleco, and I absolutely love it in this tank. This central rock structure, most of my rocks I just kind of pull out of the rivers near me and they do just fine, but these are ones that I actually went and bought for this aquascape. I'm actually trying to remember the name of it. I want to say Dragonstone, but I don't think that's what it is, but just a beautiful rock structure. I actually bought them for a different tank, but they ended up in here. And I love this little stick. If anybody knows anything about photography and just the leading lines, I love the way that stick just kind of leans into the rocks and kind of fades into the background and just makes for a beautiful aquascape and just draws the eyes into the kind of that black background that makes this aquascape look much bigger than it actually is, or it feels much bigger than it actually is. Now, this aquarium, regrettably in a way, is sitting on the floor. I have large stacks of tanks. For people that have seen my other videos, go check those out. And I have aquariums from the floor to the ceiling. And I kind of regret having this on the floor just because I wish it was in a place where I could stare at it constantly. But I do love kind of getting on the ground and looking at my aquariums. It doesn't bother me too much. But it's a 60 breeder. If you're looking for a good aquarium to aquascape, I have really fallen in love with these 60 breeders. They're long, you get the 4-foot space, but they're not very tall. I really feel like aquascaping, it really looks so much better when you can kind of reach for the top of the tank and fill the aquarium, and that's so easy to do in a 60 breeder. So if you're looking for a good size aquarium to aquascape, I would recommend this size. I didn't start off with this aquarium size. I kind of focused on 75s and 55s like most people do, but I have discovered this aquarium and it is just such a fun size to play with and to build a gorgeous aquarium. I've built 2 of those with this 60, and then I also have my flower horn in the other 60. A couple more fish that I have not pointed out. You see there's an Electric Blue Acara there. That's actually one that I bred, and I had about 7 or 8 of them that somebody purchased from me, and I thought I had gotten rid of all my big ones, and then I realized that this guy was left behind. So I didn't have a spot for him, and he was kind of lone in the size fish that he was at. I didn't want to give him his own tank and put him by himself, and he's so spectacularly blue that I just wanted to include him in here to see how he did, and he's done really well. Which this size tank, if anybody is interested in Electric Blue Acaras, this is okay for Electric Blue Acara. They can live in a 60, probably not with a whole group of them, but I think he'll be okay. He may get big enough one day that I'll have to get him out of here, but I have a 180 gallon with a bunch of them that he would fit just fine into. There's also some giant Danios in here that I originally bought to be kind of dither fish or just fast moving fish for my big cichlid tank, and then I found out that my starry night cichlid like to snack on them, so I have 4 of them in here despite the fact that I originally bought 6 of them, and I had to move them out somewhere, and I decided, well, you know, this tank's full of Asian fish, let's see how they do in here, and they have done just fine. This tank is lit by a 4-foot Hygger light, and it is filtered probably excessively. Most of the time on a 60-gallon breeder, I probably just do a couple of sponge filters. This one has a Fluval 307 that is filtering it. However, it does a great job of keeping this aquarium very, very clean, and that light is really nice. I do like how it's got a built-in timer, and it kind of has the sunrise, sunset settings built in, so that's a nice feature, though it's not my favorite light for a few reasons, but it's okay. It's good enough for this, and none of these plants are highlight plants that need crazy lighting, so they do just fine. In fact, most of them probably don't like to have too much light, which is good. But overall, this tank is really morphing into something that I absolutely enjoy, just sitting on the ground and staring at, with its just never-ending activity, so many colors. This is the kind of tank that you show to a saltwater person and you say, see, you say that freshwater fish have no colors. Check this out. I mean, this is just so colorful. And I have people come over that say, oh, is that a saltwater tank? No, it is not a saltwater tank. This is all freshwater. These colors are 100% fresh. So absolutely love this aquarium. I hope that you enjoy it too, and I hope you enjoy this video of this tank overview and that it gives you some ideas for your tanks and some stocking options. I'd love to hear from you guys. If you have any fish that you think might go well in this aquarium, anything that really pops in color and activity that won't kill everything, preferably, let me know, because it's pretty much done, but I actually am planning on moving probably these rainbows out because I'm setting up a 6-foot rainbow tank, so I'll probably get them out of here. And the Electric Blue Acara may not be a permanent resident either, so there may be room for some more fish in the future. So if you guys have any ideas, I would love to hear from you down in the comment section. But otherwise, I will see you in the next one. Wishlist out.